Heyo everybody, how are y'all doing? I'm Crescent. With Fallout 76 just around the corner, I've been playing the hell out of Fallout 4. I saw an interesting video the other day. It was about how to get an effective amount of caps out of the whole machine, all of the machinery, the workshop machinery. And they were making lunchboxes, and they were explaining some mechanics that I really didn't know existed. This video is by Schooled Zone, and there'll be an annotation with a link to their video somewhere around the edges of the screen. And today I went ahead and put that into application, and we made a loot Pinata machine. Now, before I go and look at the machine itself, let's just flip this on right here. We're feeding through lunchboxes into this little silo here. And let's talk about the actual mechanics that we have going on here. So we have these Vault-Tec lunchboxes that we made with machinery. And it turns out that you can open these lunchboxes by shooting them. And inside of them is, actually that's a better drop than normal, but inside of them they usually drop some junk items or food item, and then after that they kind of just sit here in the world. And now Schooled Zone noticed that when you're in this menu you can repair them, but you can't repair them, if that makes sense. And they went through and found out if you cycle them in an inventory or drop them out of a hopper, you eventually wind up repairing them. So let's just, let's run this thing here. So if we were to take this and throw it in here, eventually, coming out of the other end would be a repaired lunchbox. Now it takes a while. You notice I'm not able to pick this lunchbox up, so even though it looks like it's repaired, we're not able to shoot it and get stuff out of it. Now, it takes a while to get them to work this way. So let's just take a couple and put them on here. I should probably shoot some of them open before doing this. And eventually we'll notice that some of these are going to say that you can pick them up. Yeah, like this one, we're able to shoot it. That one again, that one's repaired itself. And while I was running tests on these, building a couple different versions of the machines, I noticed that it's not whenever they're in an inventory and placed in the world that they have a chance of repairing. It's after they've spent a certain amount of time in an inventory. So the more of these we have on here, the faster they will, or the more often when it creates a new one, it'll repair. So actually, at a certain point, if you get enough of these lunchboxes going on a loop like this, with maybe some of this other junk in between it, they'll all just start being repaired as they drop out. So when we have one of these on here, it's going to take several minutes for them to repair, and with a couple of them on here like this, we start getting them repaired a lot more often. I say that, but we haven't had a single repaired one drop since the last one I blew up. There's a repair there. And originally I was making some sort of system where I had a couple tumblers like this where I would repair the lunchboxes and then I would divert them and put them in an area and I would open them. And I realized that I could just, with enough lunchboxes, cycle them all up into one area, take out all the scrap, and just throw them back in. So I kind of wound up making a system something like this. Let's go ahead and turn this machine up here, which is making more lunchboxes. So we made a lot of lunchboxes. And what we would do with this, jump down into all these lunchboxes here, have a little party, is we would just take a really fast attacking weapon like this Ripper here, and go through and just start really going to town on these lunchboxes. I should have turned that thing off. We'll wind up throwing some stuff out. And I was hoping I'd be able to use a AoE type attack, like an AoE melee attack, to open a bunch of these at once. But unfortunately, Big League 4 doesn't work. I have Big League 4 on right now, and I have to individually hit each of them. I'll see if I have a grenade on me, and see if a grenade opens a bunch of these. We'll keep a lookout for some confetti. So do we have a grenade or a Molotov on us? I might have sold them. Big boy, thirst zapper. I might be able to use this, or I might blow myself up. Let's find out. There we go. I didn't see a lot of confetti come out of there. And there's a lot of lunchboxes we're still able to pick up here, so it doesn't look like explosives really do the trick either. So I find it best, so you're not using a bunch of ammo, to use a really high attack speed weapon. Just go through it like this. And we just go in here and we loot Pinata our way through a bunch of stuff. And then after we're done opening the current cycle of boxes, we jump out of this pit, come down here, and pull this lever. We're just going to cycle all of these lunchboxes out of here and into this guy. Our grenade kind of caused a little bit of a mess up here, but that's fine. And it gets all of our loot in here. And we can see we already have a decent amount of random arse loot in here. And this is just from what we just did with blowing up these lunchboxes. Now I have some from a test I did earlier off inside of the collector up here, the hopper up here. And we'll go and take a look at what sort of items that we get out of it. But because all of these lunchboxes are spending an age being raised up out of here, every single lunchbox that winds up coming out of this machine will be repaired. They all repair inside of this one lift, and then we could feed them straight back down there. So I could turn this on and turn the conveyor off down here, and we just feed all of these repaired lunchboxes straight back down here and get ready to do another cycle. As a matter of fact, we could just hang out down here and break these lunchboxes one at a time and just feed this full of random junk, while all of these lunchboxes come straight back to us, and we could just sit down here and do that forever if we really felt like it. And the kind of loot we get out of here is we can get some stuff to sell for caps, like food. We get some cork and leather, asbestos, steel, entirely too much plastic, some lead and wood. And that's about it. Cork and leather, if I didn't say cork and leather. Some Nuka-Cola, having a ton of Nuka-Cola is important to you. So it gives us some interesting junk, some steel if you're not interested in always buying steel. But really it's not as caps efficient, it's just making a bunch of water purifiers and selling purified water. But you are still able to get stuff off of this. And you could, I don't know, come through whenever you go back to your base, break a bunch of lunchboxes, and then just flip a lever, and then later on when you feel like doing it again, just go ahead and drop back inside of the lunchbox. You could maybe just put it on a timer, so you press a button after you finish breaking them all, and it pushes all of the stuff out, and then stops this ramp after it pushes the stuff out, so you don't have to stop the ramp yourself. And then next time you're back in your base, you'll just have the entire thing filled back up for you, or the next time you feel like stopping to do this. Now you could make it a bit more efficient. You could have these conveyor belts going 2 separate directions and lifting them up, so you get to refill this twice as fast. But it's just a nice little way to get some steel, mainly just steel, and money. There's some better ways to earn money, but it's definitely an applied use, one of the better uses for the machinery and conveyor belts and making random junk than I've seen in other areas. But shoutouts to Schooled Zone for noticing that you're able to repair these Vault-Tec lunchboxes, and also for showing how you repair them, or the fact that you can even shoot them to open them. And this is just a really cool way to put that discovery into an applied machine and make some bank off of it. So yeah, if you want to make a machine like this, it's kind of worthwhile. You know, you can get a lot of steel if you're trying to make steel. I still prefer using like the water purifier method, just because we wind up burning a lot faster, and you can just buy whatever materials you're looking for off of the caps that you earn from it. But this is definitely a fast way that we could earn some money. Really cool bit of machinery you can do just for the aesthetics. So over the course of just what we broke during this video, which hasn't been too many, we've gotten 17 baseballs, 9 gum, 10 chalk, 12 Danny Boy, 4 forks, 6 gum, 16 noodles, 13 Nuka-Cola, 8 pen, 8 pencils, 8 plastic forks, 8 plastic knives, 15 plastic spoons, 7 table knives, 10 tablespoons. So, what is that? About 21 steel and some other junk. And let's go see how much money worth of stuff we have. We just go into our aid and we sell the aid items, so that's 27. Now I don't have all of the cell magazines, and I don't have the cell perks, so there's a bit more money that could be made here. It's about 423 caps, what we have at the moment. We'll just go into junk and buy some random junk. Give me a shipment of something cheap. Good enough. So, it's an okay way to get some extra steel. I know I'm always hurting for steel in my settlements because I do a lot of building, a lot of steel requirements. We already have a pretty big pile of lunchboxes over here ready to be harvested again. We could just maybe set up a way where there's a window and we attack whichever ones come by. I've done some testing where I try and break these with traps. Unfortunately, traps don't work on opening lunchboxes. Splash damage doesn't work on opening lunchboxes, grenades, Big League 4, and none of that seems to work. I haven't tried getting an NPC to attack the lunchboxes, but I'm assuming it wouldn't work. But that's untested. So there is going to be some form of manual labor. There's still a lot of room that this machine could be sped up, so we could break twice as many lunchboxes as fast if we just separated it in between 2 conveyor belt lifts instead of just 1 conveyor belt lift. So we always have 2 sources cycling in here, and I just mirror what I have here on the other side. This is all capable of being done in vanilla. I do have the Workshop Expanded mod on, but I'm not using any of the tools from it. For the most part, this sort of machine's lossless. Now, I made this conveyor belt down here where I can turn it on and off separately than the rest of the machines, and to do that, I kind of made it disconnected from this conveyor belt lift. So, I am losing some of the small items over here. You'll see I have some spoons, food stuff, basically just a bunch of small items, and just created a mess. Oops. Oh no! Stop the production! I have, at the moment, 4 switches here. One turns on the production for more lunchboxes from this machine here, in case, for some reason, 300 lunchboxes wasn't enough. One turns on the conveyor belt down here, so I can move them separately to moving the rest of the machine. This button here turns on the lift in the sorting system, and then stores them in this hopper, or this storage back here. And then this last one just uses this vacuum hopper for putting them back into the machine. No, Codsworth, I want to put that rubbish away. Yeah, some of the smaller items, it's worth building cages around certain components just to keep them from getting stuck. There might be a way to disconnect these conveyor belt straights from here without leaving as much of a gap in between it, maybe by hopping it up with a rug or something. And there's a lot of room to speed everything up, to make it move a bit faster, but this seems like a pretty good example of how to apply lunchboxes into something a bit profitable and useful. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure gaming with you, and I'll talk to you all next time in about a year or two, whenever my next video is, Kappa. Anyways, I'll see you around, see you on Twitch, see you on YouTube, see you on Twitter, and I'll talk to you next time. Sayonara.